Complex Societies with Madeline and Kayla.
So today we're going to be discussing Maslow's question, what did early humans need and how did they get it? Early societies overall just needed structure. So let's jump right in.
Let's talk about migration, hunters and gatherers, and agriculture. Early settlers were hunters and gatherers. As soon as they ran out of animals in the area to hunt, they migrated to a new area and kept hunting and gathering. This is when they decided they were done with it. They slowly started to discover agriculture and useful tips for it. Many people...
Wait, hold on. What the heck is agriculture?
Well, agriculture is basically just farming. People would plant crops for their source of food. The first topic we will talk about is specialized jobs.
Early humans needed specialized jobs to efficiently get the work around the community done. These specialized jobs were needed in ancient societies because without it, there was much chaos and tasks would become difficult to head up. An example of this in history would be how some people would work in the government division, while others would be better at coming up with a language or taking care of their family.
Now let's talk about social hierarchy. What exactly is social hierarchy? Well, it is a fundamental aspect of social organization that is established by examining people's current status. This pyramid represents the social structure in ancient Egypt.
A historic example of this would be in Egypt how at the top of the social pyramid, the pharaoh would be first. Then it would go down through the different positions or jobs until the least important role, a slave, laborer, or peasant.
Which leads us to the government, which would be at the top of the social hierarchy. What is a government, you may ask? Well, it is a group of people with the authority to govern a country or state. There is usually a specific building that people in the government will work in. For example, early humans formed these governments because they moved to locations where the geography was favorable to intensive agriculture. So, governments emerged into rulers and they gained more control over the larger areas and lots of resources.
Well, speaking of government, laws and codes are the restrictions that citizens must abide by when in a certain country that enforces those rules. Whenever someone disobeys those rules, they are punished for disobeying. For example, in ancient societies, when someone disobeys the law, they would sometimes be arrested, killed, or flogged, depending on the seriousness.
Next, we have religion. Religion is the belief, worship, or system of faith in a superhuman controlling power, like a personal god or gods. For example, in ancient Greece, they had many gods and goddesses, like Zeus, Ares, Apollo, Athena, Hera, and many more. They thought religion was important because they believed it would make their earthly lives better. They also believed that their many gods would take care of them after they died.
In order for a complex society to work, you would need a writing system. First of all, what is writing? Well, it's a sequence of letters, words, or symbols marked on a surface. A good example of writing in history would be hieroglyphics in Egypt. The first hieroglyphics were used mainly by the priests to record important events like wars or stories about their many gods and pharaohs, and were usually used to decorate temples and tombs.
Lastly, we have monumental architectures.
So, Miss Kayla, monumental architectures just like really tall towers?
Well, not exactly, Felicia. Basically, monumental architectures are large human-made structures made of stone or earth, which are used as public buildings or communal spaces, as opposed to everyday private residences. For example, in ancient Egypt, they had built the pyramids. They built them out of stone, which was the most durable out of all materials. The pyramids were usually built as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. So going back to Maslow's question, what did early humans need and how did they get it? Based on all of the information we just learned, how do you think they got what they needed, Madeline?
Well, Kayla, complex societies got what they needed through specialized jobs, mainly because with them, people could all focus on individual needs that the society had and find solutions for them in a more efficient way.